Megtooth sabers requires a lot of work on engineering, drilling, smoothing, tapping, setting, imagining, cutting, stripping, twisting, dipping, tin it, pin it, wire it, fire it, lock it, blast it, swing it, bash it. Megtooth sabers.
Bam, we're live. Greetings, saber fans. Tonight we're going to be working on the config file on this saber. This saber sold, and the guy that bought it, who's one of our frequent watchers, he actually wants a custom config file. So what we're going to do, and I need something to get the SD card out, stand by. What we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the config file on this saber. Let me pull the battery out first. And then we're going to pull out the SD card. And we're going to put the SD card in a reader. And then we're going to start modifying. And we'll be on the computer screen quite a bit. And that's the plan for tonight. So basically, the purchaser sent me a list of fonts that he wants. There's, oops, you guys can't see that. And we're going to be adding the fonts and blade styles. So we'll be doing a lot of screen sharing tonight. I'll try and check in on the chat from time to time. Right now, we don't even have any viewers at all. So everything's looking good. Well, people will join in as we go. And as always, this this video will publish after we're done. And let's get on with this. So when you're modifying a Profi board, when you're adding sound fonts or changing the programming on the board by plugging it into your computer, you have to have an understanding of Arduino, and you have to have an understanding of how to write to your SD card. And basically, I've done quite a few videos on how to do this, and I actually have a subsection on my channel which is a Profi Teensy Saber tutorial section, which is a lot more than Profi and Teensy Saber. I do a lot of tutorials on there about switches, about NeoPixel adapters, building a NeoPixel Blade. I've got a couple full install vids of lightsabers, including Profi 1.5, Profi 2.2, Verso, and if you watch my Monday live vids, we do a lot of hey Cole, we do a lot of a lot of crazy stuff on these Megtooth Mondays. So tonight we're just going to be doing config files. So it might be pretty boring, but it might be new to some people, so you never know. I'm going to go into Windows share for me to see all in chat, but I'll try and check in every now and then. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the config file. And actually, the config that I programmed on this one in 5.7 should be in here. And I think it's just called Starkiller. It might be Starkiller RGB, I don't remember. Starkiller Profi 2. Yep. I guarantee this is going to be it. It is. So this is our config file as it is. And we're going to be adding some stuff to this thing. So just so that y'all, and I'm going to be adding quite a bit more to it as we go. This one we're going to have motion detection on it. So I'm going to have to add some motion detection lines. And that way y'all can see how I do that. And we're going to be adding fonts, new fonts that aren't on the SD card. I'll show you what the current SD card looks like. Let me check and make sure this is the right config file here. I don't know that this is the right config file. Let's check this Starkiller. Yeah, bank 1, bank 1, bank 1. Yeah, this is going to be the right one. And it does have the SA22C buttons on it. So I'm going to keep that config file open, and I also have his old Graphics because I'm probably going to copy some blade styles from there. But we'll show you how to get to blade styles on the actual Fernando's website as well. Hey, Chet Osborne and Bion and Cole, of course. Cole's probably getting his steps in. Yeah, you know, it's Monday. Got back from, today was my first day back from vacation, and, you know, back to saber stuff. So the owner of this saber, the purchaser, is actually Smooth Jazz Family, and I am going to keep a lot of those fonts on, but then I think we're going to start some new ones. So Smooth Jazz Family wanted some custom fonts here, and I'm going to start adding them in the order he wanted them. That's probably Crossguard there. Ray Train, Jabba. I'm trying to remember everything that's on there. Mando Wave, Star Wars, Ray Train, Fates, Star Wars, Lightning. So we're going to start off with some Vader fonts. So first of all, if anybody's new to Profi, this is a config file that you're looking at here, and I'll explain what everything is here in a second. It looks like a lot of confusing code. It is. I don't write any of it. All this is written for you automatically. You can watch my vids to find out how. But in the top, we've got the config top, which is all right here. So the config top section, it says, hey, this is the config top section. Include Profi board V2 because we're working on a Profi 2.2. Define the number of blades. This one has two. One is the main blade. The other is the crystal chamber. It has two buttons. We've got the volume set at 2000, which might be a little loud. Class threshold is 1.9. We'll see if we need to adjust it here in a bit. Enable audio, enable motion, enable WS2811, which is NeoPixel, enable the SD card. And then we also have define swing on, thrust on, and twist off. And gesture puts us in automatic battle mode, and lockup delay is 200 milliseconds. And then we've got motion timeout, idle timeout, and I'm going to try tonight getting rid of this disable diagnostic commands because we used to do that to save space on the Profi board, but I'm using the new Profi plugin, and I'm hoping that we don't need to save all that space. So these defines here are defines for motion gestures: swing on, thrust on, twist on, and twist off. Those are all for SA22C's motion gestures. And then this line here, if def config prop. So we're saying we want to use SA22C's buttons.h instead of the standard or any others. And it starts with if def config prop, and then include, and there's the address for the config prop, and then indef. And then after that starts our presets. So if you see if def config presets, now our presets begin, and each preset begins with an opening I don't even know what the hell that's called, bracket. And then our first font, which I've labeled all these bank 1, bank 2, etc., so the end user can change them out if they want. But our first font is actually on the SD card called bank 1, and it's going to play a track called SK Theme, which is Starkiller Theme.wave. Now let's go to the SD card so you guys can see that. And I've got the SD card plugged into the computer. You can see it here, SK 2021, that's Starkiller 2021. And indeed, you can see we do have a bank 1. And if we go to tracks, you can see that we have a Starkiller theme wave, SK theme, right here. And y'all aren't, I don't think y'all are going to be able to hear it the way I have my stream set up. But we'll try. I'll go over and see if I can throw the computer sound at you. So there you go. No, Brian, it's not. It's actually not an issue. It still gets to it just fine. In fact, let me go. So there's the ESB Graflex. Let me go to mine. Stand by. Let me go to. I'll go to mine to double check what I did, but I don't think it's an issue. It's working on there right now. Let's see here. And let's scroll down to my sabers. Where is my... Oh, you know what? I might have pulled my Graflex out on the desktop because we modified the config on it. Yep, Mentor Graflex. So let's look at my Mentor Graflex config and see... Did I use all caps on mine? I don't remember, Brian. Yep, I use that all caps there too. I don't think it's caused any problems so far that I know of. It's all working. It's working there. But at any rate, we're going to start adding some presets to this thing. And the... Oh, crap. I closed all that out. I didn't want to close all that out. But the presets are going to be nuts. Let me check in on chat and see if I see you guys there. Kybertech Sabers. Kyberphonics. Hey, we're putting some of Kyberphonics fonts on here as well tonight. And some of Cases. So this is for Sarmiento, and he sent me a bunch of fonts on email, and a couple of the links didn't work. So Eric, if you're listening to this, your Metamorphose and also your Sorcerer, I did not get those two, so you're going to have to send those two to me. But on this saber, what we're going to add tonight is some fonts that Eric already owns from his other sabers. He's going to put Rogue Vader, Senate, Ghostbusters, which is Kyberphonics, Fire from Kyberphonics, Unstable from Kyberphonics, Rogue Commander, and Metal. And then we're going to add Episode 9 Gold, which is Kyberphonics, Power of the Cosmos, which is Infinity Gauntlet, Metamorphose, Rescue by K-Sith, Reptilian Mech, Prodigal Knight, 8-Bit Saber, and the Sorcerer, but I don't have some of those, but we'll add as many as we can, and Eric will have to send me those other ones. So, all right, let's go. So this is the ESB Graflex config that Eric, this is Eric's other saber, and I'm going to be borrowing some of the blade styles from there, but let's get back into this one. So each preset begins with the first font, Bank 1, and then a track if you have one, and then you have a blade style here, which this is the main blade, and then you have an additional blade style, which is what's displayed in the crystal chamber, and then whatever's in parentheses at the end of those two blade styles will be what's displayed in the OLED screen if you have one, but I don't. And then after that first preset, you have a closing bracket and a comma, and that goes into the second preset, which is using the same sound font. So you can use the same font over and over again, but I just put different tracks and slightly different blade styles to those. Well, we're going to come down here before this one, and we're going to add another preset. And the first one he's got asterisked, he wants Vader. So I'm going to do an opening bracket, quote, Vader is what we're going to call that sound font, and then tracks, and we're going to do Hall Wave, and then comma, and then we're going to add some blade styles. So I'm going to go to his ESB Graflex config, and I'm going to look for his Vader, and I'm going to pull his blade style from Vader. Bam. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to go back to this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy that, paste it, and do an enter because I like spaces between my blade styles. And then we're going to go Vader, and then closing bracket, comma, bam. So there, we've already added a preset. Now let's go and add that onto the SD card. So that's what's going to happen here. So basically, I don't like adding the fonts as I go to the SD card. Typically what I do is I have a folder for each saber that I'm building on my computer, and I have an SD contents. So here's the SD contents on his saber, and it's pretty cool because what I can do here is we just added Vader, and look, I already added Vader on here. So this is K-Sys Rogue One Vader, and there it is. It's already on the new SD card. I've already started writing it, so we're good to go. Let's make sure I got Hall Wave in the tracks, and I do, so we're good to go there. So next, what I want to do is see which preset he wants next. So that was Vader. Now he wants Senate, and we're going to create a new preset, and we're going to call this one Senate, comma, tracks. I don't know. What should we do for this one? Probably March Wave. If Eric wants something different, he can send it to me. And because this is a very special blade style that goes with this font, I already know it's on his ESB Graphlex. I just have to find Senate on his ESB Graphlex, and I know that's the blade style that I need. Oh, here it is. And I put Duel the Fates with it on his other saber. I'm just going to keep the Imperial March on it for this one. And then I'm going to add that special blade style that goes with that font right there, just like that. Return. And then I'm going to do it again for the Crystal Chamber. And I'm going to go, oop, don't do that now. Stop messing around on me. Sometimes you hate laptops because of the cursor thing that goes on, but okay, so there, bam, new config, new preset. Next he wants Ghostbusters. Huh. So we'll go opening bracket and opening bracket, quote. Now we need our font, which I call that one Ghost. That's by Kyberphonics. And tracks is going to be, I forget what I called that in his tracks folder. I don't even know if it's in this one. But I think it's Ghost Wave, and it may not be on this one. Yeah, it's not on this one. So let's minimize that. And then let's go find music tracks. Do I have Ghost on here? I do not. So I'm going to have to go into Eric's folder and go to his old Graphlex that I already built, his SD contents, and I guarantee you in his tracks folder there will be a, yep, right there, Ghost Wave. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that onto, I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I'm going to, where's the Starkiller? I got too much crap on here. I need to clean up my desktop right now. And I'm going to go to SD contents, and I'm going to go to his tracks, and I'm going to add the Ghost Wave. Paste. Now we got a Ghost Wave. But now I also need to add the Ghostbusters font on here, and it's already added right here. So there is the Ghostbusters font. That doesn't look like the whole thing though. Of course it could be. But I think it was pretty simple. That's the Ghostbusters font. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. But then I want to go back into the config that we're working on and Ghost Wave, end quote, comma, return. Now the Ghostbusters Blade is kind of a special blade. So I'm going to go back into his other config. You can also grab these from K-Sys. In fact, in a minute, I'm going to go and grab some of these from Fernando's website. But for right now, I'm just going to grab this one off this old config because it's easy. But this is where building multiple sabers can benefit you, because you'll find, hey, I like that blade style, and I'm going to use it again. Fortunately, I've got a good enough memory to remember where all these blade styles are at, which is kind of crazy. That's one of my curses, is a photographic memory. But I also keep copies of every saber I've ever made, their config files, and all the tracks. Let me check in on chat, see where you guys are at. Oh, man. Urson, thank you very much for the super chat. You guys don't have to do that, but I really, really appreciate it. Cole saying, hey, Jesse. New training. Oh, yeah, sweet. Bobby likes the new A&H training. It is awesome. Sweet. Well, you can, Urson, but you've got to use motion gestures. I'll go back and show you how I did that. But you actually have to add on the gestures into your config file. But yeah, I'm going to show you all Fernando's Blade library. But let me show Urson something since he super chatted us here. So Urson, let me go back into the top of my config before I finish the Ghostbusters thing that we're working on. So the first thing I did in the top of my config is I added these defines. Define SA22C swing on, SA22C twist on, thrust on, and twist off. And I also defined gesture auto battle mode and define SA22C lockup delay 200 milliseconds. Those added in, but then you have to use SA22C's prop. Now, if you're using, you can use Fernando's prop file too, but his defines are going to be slightly different than mine are. But that's basically how you do it. But this is to add in SA22Cs because that's whose buttons I'm using on this saber. But, we'll show you something real quick. Okay, so let's minimize this. And I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I got it super chatted, so I feel like we owe Urson an explanation here of what we got going on. So I'm going to open up Profi OS 5.7. And I'm going to scroll down to the folder that says props. And here are all the available prop files for you to add into your config. And you can see that the buttons that I'm using are SA22C, and I'll make that lowercase, Brian, just in case it causes problems, but it's SA22C buttons.h. That is the config file, or I'm sorry, the prop file that we're using. And if I open up that prop file, you can see where he's telling all the things you've got to define. So all this in the very top, this is all instructions for how to use his prop file. And these are, some of the defines I've added. And I did not define force push because it's kind of glitchy for me. And then you can see that gesture auto battle mode defined there. And the auto lockup delay, you can see all that stuff. But how you define this file is just like I showed you in the config. Right here, after your ndif on your config top, you can add ifdef config prop, and then hashtag include quote period / and I'm gonna do lowercase here to make sure we don't run into any problems. Saber SA22C buttons.h and oops. Buttons.h. Hopefully I didn't delete anything there. Painfully slow. I'm horribly slow at writing that. And I don't think I deleted anything there. Ifdef config presets. Let's look. Let's check out another one. Ifdef config presets. Okay, I think we're good. So that's basically how you get motion gestures to work. Now this is using Matt McGreary's prop file and also using Matt McGreary's defines for motion, battle mode, and his lockup delay, all right there. This is all stuff because I want the saber to time out and idle off. And then this particular defined save state means that if the end user changes colors, that the saber will remember what state we were on. So now back to your regularly scheduled channel. We were working on Ghostbusters, and I want to find out where we were at. Ghost. So that's where we left off. So now we're going to go to a new preset. He wants fire. This is Kyberphonics Fire Font, which is pretty cool. I have it on Verso and Profi. It's pretty awesome. I don't know what tracks we should put with it. What tracks do we put on it on the ESB Graflex, on his ESB Graflex? Let's look. Crossguard, Vader, Luke Jedi, Senate, Junk, Ahsoka, Fire. Fire Wave. I didn't know there was a Fire Wave. Well, tracks fire.wave. I don't know what the Fire Wave is, but let's go find out. And how I'm going to find out is I'm going to go back into Eric's ESB Graflex that I made for him. Sarmiento, where are you? Smooth Jazz Family, there you are. And I know we built his ESB Graflex SD contents, and there is a Fire Wave. And let's go into tracks, see if there's a Fire Wave. So I'm going to copy that. We're going to go into the Starkiller saber that we're modifying, SD contents. Just go into the tracks folder and drop this Fire Wave in there. Paste. I'm going to try to play it and see if y'all can hear it. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to hear it or not. I'm going to try and play it here. I don't know if that's playing. Well, Brian, I'm glad you checked that. Yeah, Urson, I really appreciate it, and hopefully I showed you everything you're looking for there. Trying to make sure I'm caught up with all of Urson's questions. Yeah, Urson, you definitely have to add that to your config file. But anyway, hopefully Fire worked there. Hopefully you guys can still hear me as I'm messing around with all this crap. This is kind of crazy tonight what we're doing. All right, so we added the Fire Wave to our tracks folder that we're eventually going to write to the SD card, but we're not writing it yet. Now, the Fire Blade style that Fernando did, and we're going to go get Fernando's Fire Blade style. Hopefully I can find it, but we'll show you how to get there. So we're going to open up internet, and we're going to go to Google. Never mind all that political crap that pops up. And then you're going to go to FET 263, bam! And FET 263 Profi Board Style Library. And we're working OS 4.x or later. And then y'all can donate to Fernando here. I'm not going to donate tonight because we need to get this done. And then I need to go to OS 5.6 or later. And again, I'm going to close that. And then I want to find this real Fire Blade style. And I thought there was a way you could search here, but I don't remember. It's a specialty blade. It's going to take it a long time to load. Oh, how do I search? I know there was a way to search this. I know y'all are telling me there's a way to search. But we're going to look for this Fire Blade on here, which is not here's Unstable Blade. Film Blaze, Kylo, Supreme Leader, Unstable, Rage, Anger, Fully Responsive, Unleashed, Fully Responsive, Stable, Unstable, Fully Responsive, Erratic, Smoke Blade, Blade Angle, Flame Control, Fire Blade. This is the one I want. So if you watch this video, what happens is as you tilt the blade, I'm going to try and show you here, as you tilt the blade down, the fire actually retreats up the blade as if it was throwing out a real flame. And I use this particular flame blade that Fernando created on the Fire font for from Kyberphonics. And I want real flame. Let's see here. Real flame. Preon, no preon, standard extension. I don't want any of that junk. And I think I'm going to stick with all this standard stuff on there. I'm not going to modify anything, but you can modify whatever you want on this blade style. You know, you can add any of this stuff that you want, but I'm just going to leave it as he originally wrote it. I'm going to write get style. It's copied to clipboard. I'm going to click OK. And then we're going to go back to our config file, and we're going to paste this sucker. Bam. And then comma after the blade style. And then don't forget each preset needs 2 blade styles here, because the first blade style is the main blade, and the second blade style is the crystal chamber. So that is what did I do there? That is the next preset he wanted. Now he wants Jesse Kirkbride, Kyberphonics Unstable. So we're going to go new preset, quote, the font name is Unstable, and we're going to go tracks / and I guess we'll go Kylo Wave, and I'll make sure we add that. And then we're going to go back to Fett's website, so we're going to close out of that. And I know his Kylo blades were pretty close here. All right, so film-based Kylo Ren Unstable, get style code. Of course, I want red Sith default, and I'm going to get the style. Okay, and then I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to paste that in. I need a comma after the blade style, and I'm going to paste it in again for the crystal chamber, because I want the crystal chamber to match exactly, and this is going to be unstable, and then in bracket, because it's the end of that preset. Let me go check in on chat and see if you guys are still with me. Let's see here. Brian Connor, Fire's favorite font. Jesse, I was looking at the Fire folder and I didn't see extras or tracks folder. Filter results. Yeah, there's a filter under the red button at the top. I figured. I found it anyway, guys. I found it the old-fashioned method. I know about where it's at on the page. I'm just a little slow. You have to forgive me. I may not be very network or internet savvy, but I got us there. We got the blade styles we were after. And next, let's go see what we're doing here. But thank you again, Urson, for the super chat. Next, he wants, oh, you know what? We got to add the unstable font onto the SD card. So I don't think it's on here. Oh, yeah, it is. Starkiller SD, unstable. Now let's check the tracks and make sure that Kylo Wave is on there, because we used Kylo Wave, and Kylo Wave is on there. Sweet. Now look, guys, I've renamed all these tracks to simpler. You know, I'm sure that Jesse and K-Sith, you know, they call these things all kind of different stuff, but I try to name them simple stuff so I can remember which font they go with. Like Ghost is Ghost Wave, Fire is Fire Wave. They're just the wave files that I picked out from the fonts to go with that particular sound font. We have a lot of options there. So cool, we have the unstable font on here as well as the Kylo Wave. Next, he wanted Rogue Commander and then Metal. So Rogue Commander is, I think I actually have Rogue Commander on here, but we'll go here, we'll grab it. We'll go to Profi Fonts. And by the way, y'all, when you download, I'm going to show y'all something else here in a minute. Let's see here. I know it's going to be Profi stock fonts here. Profi OS SD card. Here it is. When you download these off Frederick's website, these are the stock fonts. You got Rogue Commander, Smooth Fuzz, Smooth Gray, and Smooth Jedi. All of those fonts were made by by Thexter, who invented Smooth Swing. And then you have Teen ZSF, which I think was made by Cal from KR Sabers. And then you have Truth Crystal, which was made by Deodad Josen on the TRA. But he wants Rogue Commander, so we're going to copy Rogue Commander. And we're going to go back to his SD, and I'm going to paste Rogue Commander into his SD card. And I'll have to remember RGUE CMDR. So now we need to go and add, I don't know why that stupid thing keeps doing that. New preset, quote, RGGUE CM, I don't know what the hell. It's got to be spelled the same as the folder, y'all. RGUE CMDR. Capital CMDR. Rogue RGUE. Let's make sure. RGUE. So you can see, here's the Rogue Commander, how it is on my SD card. But when I call for it, it has to be spelled exactly the same. R, capital R, G-U-E, capital C, M-D-R. Rogue Commander. So that's correct. And then I'm going to go comma. And then tracks / we'll do Star Wars wave, end quote, comma. Now we need blade style. And he wants blue fire on this one. Let me go check in on chat and see if you guys, what you guys are up to. All right, Bobby. Hey, Smooth Jazz family. We're working on your config file. So you want blue fire on this Rogue Commander. So now I'm going to go back into Fernando's library and let's blue fire. I wonder if what if we used, hey, Eric, do you want to use like a Kylo Ren unstable blade but make it blue like this? And you want a light blue or dark blue? So we'll see. We'll see if Smooth Jazz Family answers up. This is Smooth Jazz Family's lightsaber. So we'll see if he wants that dark blue or light blue, if he wants unstable or normal fire blade. So that's what we're working on here. I know this is boring, guys, but if somebody's, trying to change their config, they can watch this video and see what we're doing here. We'll see if Smooth Jazz Family answers up here on what exactly it is that he wants on here, and we'll make it happen. Yep, he said yes. So, yes as in dark blue or light blue? I'll do dark blue. So we'll do a dark blue stable blade, and we'll pick the options. You know what I want? I want a spark tip ignition. I want the ignition to be slower on this one. We'll go 500 milliseconds. Standard retraction. And then we'll go, we'll leave the effects on the blade white. Except I'll change that to mid blade. It has responsive lightning block, responsive stab. We'll do clash mid blade. Leave it white. None of this other stuff. But you could add rain and all kinds of things. Passive battery monitors. I mean, Fernando just adds so much stuff into the blade styles. It's crazy. So now we're going to add the blade style, the blue fire, blue unstable blade style into this Rogue Commander preset that Eric wanted. And now we're going to put what the OLED would say, which is RGUE CMDR. And then we're going to end that preset. Next, he wants metal. New preset. This thing's going to be crazy. It's going to have a lot of presets. This is going to be an experiment for me. Because I don't know if all these are going to fit, but I'm using the new plugin, so hopefully it will all fit. Metal, and then tracks. What did I use for his metal font on this one? Ghost, Energy, Tragedy, Metal, Thunderstruck. So I'm going to use Thunderstruck Wave on this one too, which that'll be pretty cool. Is that what you want, Eric? Hopefully that'll... It's AC/DC Thunderstruck Wave, bam, comma, and then I'll use the same blade style we used on this one. Oh no, yeah, we're gonna use the same blade style that I used on this one, because this one was creative. I don't remember what I did with it, but I know it was creative, so we're just gonna use that same blade style. So I'm not going back to Fernando's library on this one. I'm just gonna paste the blade style and paste, and then we're going to call this one Metal, and then we're going to end that preset, and we're in business. Now he wants episode 9 gold, which this is a Kyberphonics font, and I don't think I had it on here on the original config. I'm looking. No. So we just did metal, and now he wants episode 9 gold. So I'm going to open up his SD card, and I'm pretty sure I already put episode 9 gold on his SD card. No, I didn't. So I have to go get it. So here it is, E9 gold. I'm going to copy that. I know that has Ray's theme on it. And I'm going to put in the SD contents folder that we made. Oh, there it is. There it is, E9 gold. And it's on the SD card. And now you know it's not on here though. Oh yeah, it is right there. I'm getting old or something. And that's the graphics configs. We need to get back into this one. So now we're going to go new preset, E9 gold, comma, and then tracks. I don't know, what did we use on ESP graphics for tracks on episode 9 gold? Tragedy, Energy, Ghost, Fire, Ahsoka, Junk, Pizza Junk, Senate, Luke Jedi, Vader, Crossguard, E9 gold, Scavenger Wave. So that's the one we're going to use, Scavenger Wave. So now we're going to go back into the new config that we're working on. And we're going to do Scavenger Wave, quote, comma, bam. Now we're ready for our blade style. And the cool part is I already know that this is the blade style we want, because that's what I put on his ESP Graphics, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to pop it on here to paste, and then return. And I'll check on you guys in chat here in just a second. Paste, return, return. We're going to end this with E9 gold, and then in the preset, comma, bam, bam. And let's check on you guys in chat. Oh, yeah, you choose. Curious what metal is. Metal is a sound font. I don't remember what the original sound font was. It was something that Eric bought. Eric sent me a bunch of different sound fonts, and I don't really remember. Ray Blade. Yeah, I'm using the same one. All right, Eric, we'll see you. Yeah, I'm working on your saber. Might as well, I figured we've got to take advantage of these live videos, and we'll do it live. But metal was some font he bought. I'll try to figure it out, Cole, what it was, and go back and look at it historically. Let me go look in the folder. Maybe we can figure it out right now, tonight. Let's go look in the folder. Like maybe, there was like some metal. Oh, I didn't add it there. So that means I have to go into Sarmiento's folder and we need to go grab metal. No. Sarmiento metal. So we need to add metal. And we're going to paste it into our SD folder here. And then let's open it up and see what's in it, because I really don't honestly remember where this sound font came from. This is stuff that Eric sent me, Smooth Jazz Family sent me when I built his ESP Graphics. And he sent all these fonts to me. They're not ones that I own, so I don't know. There's no about thing on this. It might be something that, it certainly looks like something that Kyberphonics would have done, but I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, we'll play the hum, and hopefully you guys can hear what the hum sounds like. We get to Streamlabs and see if you guys can hear this hum. Let's try to play it again here. Hopefully you guys can hear that, but that's the hum for metal. So I don't know. I don't know whose font that is. I have to go back and do some more research. At any rate, that's the hum for metal. Let's see what else. I hope I added all the stuff that I said we're going to add. Road Commander, Senate, Unstable. I guess I just forgot to add metal. But I know we need to add that metal wave. What did we say we were going to use? Thunderstruck. So I'm going to go to Tracks and Thunderstruck. And I don't want to get a copyright strike, but let's see if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear that? Thunderstruck. I'm going to get a copyright strike if y'all can hear that. I can't hear it because I have my computer muted so y'all don't get feedback. But at any rate, that is that one. And hopefully y'all can still hear me on the mic because I had to turn the computer sound off. But at any rate, let's get back to it. So we were on Episode 9 Gold. We finished that. Now he wants Infinity Gauntlet, which gets us to the next lesson we want to show everyone. So I'm going to go into the Starkiller. Now I downloaded all these fonts that Eric sent me. Infinity Gauntlet, zip. So I want to, hang on a minute, because I'm going to unzip this thing. I don't know who made this font, but it looks like one of Kyberphonics just from how it's all appearing in the zip folder. So we'll see. So I'm going to unzip it, and I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to go to the unzipped Infinity Gauntlet. And I know I want the Profi version. So here's the danger. A lot of times what people will do is they'll take this folder that says Infinity Gauntlet, and they'll just drop this onto their SD card. And if you do that, you're making a big mistake, because in that folder you've got these subfolders, CFX, Profi, and Tracks. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to grab the Profi version, and there it is. So basically, I'm going to call this Infinity, okay? And you'll see here in a second what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back to SD contents, and I'm going to create a new folder on our SD card. And actually, this isn't our SD card. I'm working on my computer. I'm eventually going to write all these to the SD card, and we're going to call this Infinity. And I'm going to, there it is, Infinity. Now that folder is empty right now, so you get to see my madness. So now I'm going to go back in here, Infinity Gauntlet. I need the Profi version, And boom, there it is. And I'm going to copy all those files. Copy. And now I'm going to paste them into that folder called Infinity that I made. Bam. Now, I don't know what music track that Eric wants to go with it, but I know there's probably a lot of tracks. This looks like some of Kyberphonics work here for sure. And yeah, Jesse did include tracks, I guess, in-game. So I'm going to copy this in-game wave, and I'm going to change how it's spelled. I'll show you why. I try to keep everything simple. We're going to go to Starkiller, SD Contents, and then we're going to go to Tracks. And we're going to drop this in-game wave in here. And I'm going to rename this without the caps. In-game wave. And that's going to be with the Infinity Gauntlet sound font. So now I called the sound font Infinity, and the wave is in-game wave. Let's go back to the config file, and we're going to start a new preset. Quote, Infinity is what we called it, comma, and then tracks / and what do we say, in-game. I'm not a big comic book guy. I'm a Star Wars fan. Not a big comic book fan. Now, blade style. He didn't really put what kind of a blade style he wants on here. So I don't know. I'm going to go to you all. We're going to defer to the crowd. So, oh, dang, the sound font didn't work. All right, so if I'm putting in an Infinity, which I guess this is like one of those comic book superhero games, superhero movies, like, I don't know, Infinity Gauntlet. I don't even know what that is, guys. So you tell me, what blade style? Yeah, he had to go back to work. What blade style do I put with this Infinity Gauntlet? What blade style would you guys use? Some ideas. Eric's like, oh my God, the crowd's voting for the blade styles we're getting put on my saber. I'm not a comic book guy. I'm reaching out to some of y'all. I'm hoping that somebody on here is one of the comic book guys or movie guys that watches these Marvel movies. Is Infinity Gauntlet, is that Marvel or DC Comics? I don't even know. See, that's why I added you guys. See, when Fernando does stuff like that on stuff that I'm not into, he's got an Infinity Gauntlet blade style. Kybertech, you guys are geniuses. See, that's why we refer to y'all. I knew you guys would know. So let's go to Fet's page and close out of this. And you guys said there was something up the top where I could filter out results. I'm looking. Filter results. Specialty, maybe? Oh, 'tis the season, Thunderstorm, Black Panther, Infinity Blast, Seismic Charge, Lava Lamp, Kaleidoscope, Omnicolor, Color Run, Rainbow, Moving Rainbow, Roy G. Biv. So I guess it's this one up here, right? The Infinity Blast. I guess that's it. So get style code. Main blade. I'm just going to get style. I'm going to leave everything standard on that. And then I'm going to go back into his config. And we're going to paste that blade style we just pulled off FET263 site, comma, turn, return. Now we need to put the crystal chamber blade style in there. Paste, comma, boom, boom. Infinity. Hey, Brian, are all these going to fit with the new Profi plugin? I mean, dude, that's a lot of presets. That's a lot of presets going there. So, I don't know. I don't know if all that's going to fit. because I haven't really tried. This isn't my cup of tea. But it's not my cup of tea. Because normally, like on my lightsabers, I don't like a gazillion blade styles, and I don't like a gazillion presets. Typically on my sabers, you know, I'll run max 8 or 9 presets, and I typically try and steer people into not having so many blade styles. But doing a favor for Eric, because this list, I mean, it's crazy. So I'm sitting here doing this live for y'all. I know it's boring as hell, but we don't have much time left. But I want to get back to work, and we'll see if we can compile what we've done tonight. And I'll write the SD card here before 9:30 so everybody can see where we're at. Let me write on a pin where I left off, because I left off on Infinity Gauntlet by Kyberphonics. And let's scroll up here, and I'll show a couple other things really quick. Number one, how I know that the first blade in each preset is the main blade is because I defined it right there. And while we're here, I need to add that. I need to make that 132 because it's a KR pixel stick for this saber. And my second blade is only 1 neopixel, which is my crystal chamber, and it's on power pin 6, and it's on data 2. But that's the order the blade styles are in: main blade and then crystal chamber. So in each preset, main blade, crystal chamber, main blade, crystal chamber, main blade, crystal chamber. That's how they're defined, because that's how I define my config. So let's try to save this config. Yeah. Starkiller RGB config.h. Now, let's see if we can compile this sucker. Starkiller RGB config.h. Y'all give me a minute, because I got to make sure it's saved in the right folder, which I'll check that here in just a second. Let's see. What does it say? Starkiller RGB config.h. Yep, July 12, 2021 at 9:27. Bada bing, that's it. Starkiller capital RGB underscore config.h. So we're going to give this a whirl. So what we're going to do is, this is where we define our config file, and you can see all those are commented out, and I'm looking for Starkiller RGB config.h. There it is. So I'm just going to remove the 2 forward slashes on that one, because that's the one we want to compile. And then I want to add them to this one, my mentor. And let's make sure all the others are commented out, so we're not defining those. 5.7 has been very busy. Now, tools, we're not programming a Teensy, we're programming a Profi board V2. And just going to do normal serial modder. And let's just check. So I'm not going to actually program the saber right now, but we're going to check it. And we'll see if it compiles. And hopefully I don't get any errors. Everybody cross your fingers. So I'm just checking the code right now. And we'll see what we come up with here. This one may go a little long tonight, because I may go ahead and try to program the saber if all this works out. And we'll see if this works out, because it's boring, but we might as well take y'all all the way to victory. So, you know, we've stopped off at the Infinity Gauntlet. And I think what I want to do is, if this compiles without a lot of errors, because errors are going to make me have to go find my errors. But if this compiles without errors, then we'll go ahead and program the saber and the SD card and light this thing up and show y'all, hopefully, success. Let me go get a 1-inch blade while I'm sitting here waiting for this thing to compile. 1-inch blade. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got me a 1-inch blade, so we're ready to roll there. Hopefully this thing's going to go. Come on, baby. Make it all the way across. Be green. Make it happen. You know you want to do it. Is it all going to fit? Who knows? Is it going to be too large? Come on, baby. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, 87%. Holy crap. Brian, it all fit. Brian, that's insane. Huh. Yeah, the updated plugin really works awesome. I will hold off on downloading anything because we're actually working on a new Profi plugin. This is actually V3 of the plugin, but you can go to Frederick's website and do it. I might try to dive into that a little bit next week, but I don't want to get too complicated here tonight. So holy shit, that worked. Let's program this SD card. I know Brian Connor's going to hate me for doing this, but... So here's my Starkiller SD card, and I'm going to format it. I'm just using the Windows formatter. I know you're not going to like that, but it is what it is. Disk is write protected. What the hell are you talking about? How can it be write protected? Let's try this again. Disk is write protected. Let's try it again. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to format. Start. Okay. Bam. Format complete. Alright, so I just used the Windows formatter. I know Brian Connor's going to disagree with that, but it is what it is. Alright, so now my SD card is empty, so now I'm going to go back into our Starkiller folder, and all this garbly gook we've been working on tonight, including, you know, I didn't upgrade my config. Let me upgrade my config on this SD2 in case I lose stuff. Let me go into our config folder here, and I'm in Profi OS. I'm just getting the config that we modified tonight. Starkiller RGB. Starkiller RGB underscore config.h. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to drop it in here because this was last updated in February. And now I'm going to update it. Replace the existing file. Alright. So now we have all our fonts, including the ones we added tonight. And we have our config file. And I'm going to highlight all these suckers by left click and highlighting them all, and then I'm going to right click and send to the SD card. And here they go. It's writing. My computer's painfully slow when it comes to this. So we'll go back to chat while all that's writing. Yeah, I know there's a massive delay on the comments. So I think, Brian, there's like a 45-second delay, so it kills me. So like when I was asking Smooth Jazz Family earlier, you know, what color he wanted, I had to wait 45 seconds for him to hear me say it. So I don't create the delay on here, and I'm not sure why YouTube does that, but there is a 45-second delay. So you guys are seeing and hearing stuff 45 seconds now after I say something, which is very frustrating. It's frustrating for me too, but there is a delay. And it's still writing the SD card. We're going to have some glory here in a minute. I got to find an Allen wrench so we can put a blade in this sucker. There's my Allen wrench. So while it's writing the SD card, I'm going to loosen the blade retention. And I'm going to put a blade in this sucker. And tighten that, and I think I will add a battery because I'll add the battery after we plug in the SD card. So, oh my God, my computer's painfully slow writing this SD card. Of course, there's a lot of stuff on it. Brian Connor is leading Kybertech Sabers to the new Profi plugin. Yeah, I figured, can you update to the Profi plugin 2 on there? I know you can't do 3. So guys, the reason we're using Profi Plugin 3 and the reason it's on my computer but it won't be on yours is because we had to use the V3 of the Profi plugin for Profi Board 3.7. So all the beta testers had to upgrade all our software, including the Profi plugin, to work with Profi Board 3.7. But the new Profi plugin, the V2, Brian Connor had a lot of positive feedback on that. I was still running the first one because I'm a big chicken when it comes to changing and upgrading my stuff. Brian Connor was telling me to upgrade my Arduino because I was on 1.8.9 and he's like, dude, 1.8.13. You don't even have to scroll to watch the progress anymore. I'm like, sweet, I'm on it. And I finally upgraded that and upgraded the Profi plugin. Holy moly, still writing. 75% there. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. So let's go back to you guys really quick while we're waiting on this SD card to be written. Let's go back to Streamlabs. But anyway, thank you, Brian. By the way, I put a blade in the Starkiller. So I'm going to add the SD card into the Profi here in a second. And then we'll put a battery in there and then we'll be in business. Internet speed looks screwy. That sucks. Oh, that's pretty awesome, Cole. That Profi 3.7 is pretty awesome, as you guys have seen. What the hell are we doing here? I want y'all on Windows Share without my ugly mug in it. I don't know what the hell we were doing there. I was showing you the lightsaber blade. Oh, look, a squirrel. Alright, so it looks like we're close to 45 seconds away from being able to unplug this SD card and get it working. Let me get my USB cable out. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in to my computer. So we're ready to program as soon as this SD card gets ejected. So once this SD card is done writing, I'm going to eject it from the computer, and then I'm going to plug it into the Profi 2.2, and then we're going to program the Profi. And I'm almost done with everything Eric wanted, except he wants Rescue, Reptilian March, Prodigal Knight, 8-Bit Saber, and the Sorcerer, and I have to add those to it, and plus a couple others that he wanted from his other saber. But it's been a long video. We're already over an hour. This SD card's taking forever to write, but it's almost done. Whew. Lord have mercy. Bam! Finally done writing the SD card. So let's open the SD card and make sure that it looks like all our stuff's on there. Looks like we got all that stuff on there, so that's sweet. So now I'm going to eject it. And there we go. We can remove it. And now we're going to plug that into our Profi. I know you guys can't see this, but use your imagination. I'm plugging the SD card into the Profi board. I'm not going to do a bunch of camera switcheroo stuff tonight because I'm just not going to. Alright. So now let's put a battery in the sucker.
I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice.
Ah. And we hear our boot from Starkiller. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the Profi board. You won't hear it connect, but neither will I. Plugging in our Profi board. You can see it says setting up device. We're setting up Profi board. And we're golden there. And then I want to go into Profi OS. And I want to go to Tools and select the port. COM port 36 Profi board. And let's go ahead and upload this sucker. Hopefully it won't take so long to compile since it already compiled once. But at any rate, so now I'm programming the Profi board, and right now what Arduino is doing is checking my config file against Frederick's sketch and making sure there are no conflicts or no bad code. And it's running through all those checks right now, and it's going to make sure that my code is going to fit on the Profi 2.2. And hopefully then we'll have success here shortly. So Arduino is doing its thing, and you'll be able to see that I've upgraded to Arduino 1.8.13, and 87% of program space. It's now programming, and you can actually see the programming progress down here in this lower bar. I no longer have to scroll, so you can see these equal signs are growing as the Profi board is being programmed. And when the Profi board is finished programming, you should hear my boot sound, which should be, you know, Starkiller lighten up. So, what is Infinity? I mean, is that like a superhero movie or something? I'm like behind the times. I don't watch all that stuff. The only superhero movies I watch are Batman. I don't know what all that other stuff is. Infinity, Gauntlet. I don't know what that is. You guys probably think I'm a loser, but I only like Star Wars and Batman.
As you wish, my master.
Alright, sweet. So now I'm going to unplug, and I'm going to go back to you guys. Hey, Kinlaw. Moose. Max. Alright, let's go back to scene. Alright, here we are. And I'm going to put the hilt back on this thing. And whoa! Gesture ignitions work.
Vader's assassin. Vader's assassin.
Lord Vader.
We added this preset tonight. Low battery. No wonder. Stand by. Low battery. I knew I had two to choose from. I picked the wrong one, right? Coal's on here. Alright, let's pop out this battery. Let's pop in a fresh soldier. Low battery.
Do it.
I am the Senate. I was like, man, the speaker sounds scratchy, and then it starts throwing a low battery, and I'm like, oh, well, there you go. There we go. We added that font tonight. We added Ghostbusters. There's a Ghostbusters Blade. This is Fire by Kyberphonics. And remember, when we turn the blade up, the fire retreats up the blade. Try to move y'all further back. So you can see the fire, moves up the blade, and you hold it like this, and then when you tilt it up, the fire runs all the way up the blade. And there's the fire track. Eric wanted that. Oop. Rogue Commander, this should have that unstable blue blade, which it does. Unstable blue. I don't know if you guys can see it better. You can see it in the reflection on my ESB poster here. And you see it unstable blue, and it's also in the crystal chamber here.
Darth Malak.
This is the metal, Darth Malak, and it's got the thunderstorm in there. So this is that 263's thunderstorm blade, with the lightning bolts going. And this should have stand by. It should be Thunderstruck. Or did we not put the Thunderstruck wave on there? I didn't put the Thunderstruck wave on the sound card. We forgot to add that.
Ray Skywalker.
We didn't add Scavenger Wave either. But there's the Ray Skywalker blade.
I am inevitable.
What was after the Infinity Gauntlet that we added? I mean, does it change colors or something? I don't even know what it does. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Kylo Ren.
Unstable. This is just the rest of the stuff that was on there. So it works. I just need to go back and add some more fonts. But we're in business, definitely. So I got to add the rest of his fonts. They work. Missed some soundtracks on there. I bet we did not put Thunderstruck. I bet if we go to Windows Share and we go back to his SD, I bet Thunderstruck and Scavenger Wave were not on the SD card. So let's go to his Starkiller Saber and see what I wrote to his SD card in tracks. And we're looking for Thunderstruck Wave, and I bet it ain't on there. It's not. And also Scavenger Wave, and it's not on there either. So that's why those didn't work. But at any rate, all the other stuff did work. But I've got to go add those sound fonts on there, and we'll be in business. Max, there was a known glitch that was causing that, and I believe it's going to be fixed in the new Profi OS. But does it do it every time in every font, or is it just on a specific font? Sometimes it could be an error in the font that causes that, or a sound font that's not the correct format. That would cause that. But a couple people are running into that, where the hum stays on after you turn it off. If it's an every font, every time glitch, you should report it on the Crucible, and Frederick will fix it. But I'm pretty sure that's a known issue, and I think the new version of the Profi OS is going to work to fix that. So yeah, I'm sorry, Cole. I didn't remember which sound font that was, but metal is Darth, whatever it was. You guys know all that stuff. Some of the extra world stuff I don't know about. I know about Darth Nihilus, but I haven't watched a lot of those other video games and stuff. If it's just doing it on a specific font. Yeah, Brian Connor is going to be the expert here. He's going to know what that glitch is caused by. But if it's in a specific font, I would triple, quadruple check every sound in that font to make sure it's 44.1 and 16-bit PCM. But yeah. Now remember, Max, the twist. Let me go back to the view. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let's go back to scene. So if you'll remember, Max, a twist is back and forth. Rapidly like that. Back and forth, but rapid. Back and forth. So if you're sitting there having to do that, then maybe that could be causing it. But yeah, remember, it's a back and forth, boom, 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 and you do it quick, boom, 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 boom. That's the twist. Yeah, 44K, 16-bit mono, 16-bit PCM mono. Make sure every sound in that particular font is that. I know that was causing problems when some sound fonts were not written at the right stream. But whoa, almost an hour and a half stream tonight. Didn't mean to go that long, but hopefully maybe some new Profi user got something from that. And hopefully Urson learned something. Urson, that probably means you aren't programming. If you go back and watch, this stream again and you see what my Arduino was doing when we were programming the Profi board, you should be seeing that on yours too. If you're getting a countdown like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 done, it did not program your Profi, and that's why that stuff's not working. If you added the stuff that I added in this video, it should work. If it programmed. So you got to make sure that it programmed. And also, if you added SA22C's prop file, you need to make sure that you're using his most recent prop file, which you can get on the Facebook groups, Profi Board support group and open source support group, because when you get Profi OS, his most recent prop file was not on the Profi OS download. So you're going to have to go get his most recent prop file, and you're going to have to put it into the props folder and replace the one that's in the props folder. So make sure you do that. But yeah, we're gonna do a hashtag nerd up, everyone, for our long lost Jeff Birch. And getting ready to sign off. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And hopefully next week we're going to be building a saber. I'll show it to you real quick. Hang on. I think I kind of previewed this. I previewed this a little bit last week, but this is not MHS. I don't know who built this hilt. I don't know who etched the hilt. I don't know who did the leather wrap. I still haven't talked to Tony yet, but I'm going to talk to Tony, and we're going to install this saber next week. At least we'll start. But that is the next saber that I'm going to install, and we'll probably do it live. Try and get the most out of the Megtooth Monday lives. We're going to go ahead and install this saber. It's got 2 switches, a recharge port, and it's got a crystal chamber reveal inside here. So that's what we're going to try to do. Yeah, Urson, my guess is you don't have his most recent prop file in the Profi OS if your programming worked. But if you go back and watch the video, you should see that working. And I will try to update you guys next week. I'll try to get up with Tony and find out who built this hilt and who made it, because it does look like it was custom machined and custom etched, and it almost looks like, tried to show you all that last week, that almost looks like one of the Immortals on there. You can see that mask on there, like one of the Immortals from the movie 300. I'm not sure. I'll ask him what the theme is on this and get back to y'all. But I'll be installing this, and it does have a crystal reveal chamber on it. There's the crystal reveal chamber there. And, full metal chassis. And then, the saber slides out. So it's a saber within a saber. And I know there's only a couple people that do that, but I don't know who did this one. But I'll try to find out so I can give everybody an update. But we're going to be... But you can do a config file. If I can do this, you can do this. Tonight we did a lot of config file upgrades. There was a lot said. You got to see modifications to the SD card and how I do it. It's not good just to write files to your SD card. Anytime you get a lightsaber, this is my #1 advice. When you buy a new lightsaber, the first thing you should do is take the SD card out of the lightsaber, plug the SD card into an SD adapter like that. Plug it into your computer. But they make these micro SD card adapters like this too. Plug it into your computer, and you want to clone everything that's on that SD card onto your computer as a backup copy of your original SD contents. Then you should format your SD card and then write all your fonts that you want to keep onto your SD card along with the new fonts. And how I do that is I create a folder for each lightsaber called SD Contents inside the lightsaber folder that I've got on my computer. And then I'll write all the SD card contents that I want on that SD card. And usually while I'm doing that, I'm writing the config file and I'm making sure that everything I'm calling to in the SD context, except for tonight when I forgot the tracks, I'm putting those in the SD card folders as well. So you saw me doing a lot of back and forth tonight. That's just how my brain works. As I'm writing a config file, I'm also writing what I need. I'm making sure that I have the files that I need for my SD card in a folder on my computer. But then once I finish writing all those files to the folder on my computer, I take the contents of that folder all at once and write it to my formatted SD card. And then I program the saber just like we did tonight and plug in my SD card and format the saber. But, you know, that's how you do business. When you first get a saber, the first thing you should do is clone your SD contents on your computer in a folder that you can find again. But that's the best advice I can have for everybody tonight. And Ursa, I hope you get things working. And my guess is you just need to get the upgraded SA22C prop file off the internet. But thank you all for watching, and may the force be with you, or the dark side as it were.
Thank you everybody for watching as usual. I really appreciate y'all tuning in on my channel. And as always,